Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video we are going to create computer vision project that will track and detect body pose joint. So इस वीडियो का गोल ये है कि हम एक कंप्यूटर विजन प्रोजेक्ट बनाएंगे जो किसी भी वीडियो के अंदर एक पर्सन की बॉडी के जॉइंट को डिटेक्ट करेगा और उस पर लैंडमार्क्स ड्रा करेगा. So yeah, that is the goal. So what we can do, we will do this project from scratch, and I will also share this entire code in the below comment section. Just go there and click on that link and use that code. So let's get started. I have this folder pose tracking module, and within this I'll create a new Python file. So go to your Python and just f1.py. So हम इस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए सबसे पहले कुछ लाइब्रेरीज इंपोर्ट करते हैं. सो इंपोर्ट numpy cv as cv and import mediapipe as mp. सो एक्चुअली जो पोज मॉड्यूल है, जो एक बॉडी के अंदर जो जॉइंट्स है उनको मतलब उसके ऊपर जो लाइंस ड्रॉ करता है या जो लैंडमार्क्स डिटेक्ट करता है, उसके लिए जो हम मॉड्यूल यूज करने वाले हैं दैट कैन बी यूज्ड बाय दिस मीडियापाइप लाइब्रेरी. सो मीडियापाइप लाइब्रेरी गूगल ने बनाई है जो बहुत सारे कंप्यूटर विजन के काम को आसान बनाने में आपकी मदद कर सकता है. उसके बाद हमें चाहिए टाइम. अब मैं क्या करता हूँ, सबसे पहले वीडियो को कैप्चर करता हूँ, तो उसके लिए cv डॉट वीडियो कैप्चर आपको यूज करना पड़ता है, एंड विद इन दैट यू हैव टू स्पेसिफाई वीडियो पाथ. सो मेरे फोल्डर में यहाँ पे कुछ वीडियोस पड़ी हैं. सो लेट मी यूज दिस वीडियो 1.mp4. अगर आपके पास वीडियो नहीं है तो आप गूगल में जाएं और वहां पे टाइप करें पिक्सल. सो pixel.com में जाने के बाद वहां पे आपको बहुत सारे डमी वीडियोस मिल जाएंगे, और यू कैन यूज एनी अदर वीडियो. उसके बाद मैं कुछ वेरिएबल बनाता हूं जो कि मैं बाद में एक्सप्लेन करता हूं. एक होगा करंट टाइम, एक होगा प्रीवियस टाइम. या प्रीवियस टाइम, दैट शुड बी प्रीवियस टाइम. इनिशियली दे हैव 0. उसके बाद मुझे एक इनफाइनाइट लूप चाहिए जिसको मैं ट्रू रखता हूं. जब तक ये लूप चलेगा तब तक मेरी वीडियो विंडो में दिखाई देगी. अब यहाँ पे वीडियो हमने जस्ट कैप्चर की, सो वी हैव टू रीड दिस वीडियो. Okay, so let me use read. Now first let me tell you that video is a collection of frames, or video is a collection of images. So to store that images or collection, we must have a variable with the name of frame or whatever you want. And also to check the binary the boolean format like true and false. जब आप कैप्चर करते हो एक फ्रेम को वीडियो से, तो उसके लिए आपके पास एक और वेरिएबल होना चाहिए सक्सेस, जो यही चेक करेगा कि फ्रेम स्टोर हुआ है या नहीं. ठीक है. ओके, सो लेट मी शो यू cv डॉट आई एम शो. फर्स्ट आर्ग्यूमेंट it takes image, second one your frame. Okay, now to bind your keyboard with the window you have to use here cv dot wait key with 20 millisecond and 0xff equal to O or D, and here you have to specify your button your key from keyboard. So in my case I want D, or you can use K, whatever you want. So let's use D. इसका मतलब ये है कि जब कोई कीबोर्ड से की प्रेस करता है तो ये लूप ब्रेक हो जाना चाहिए. ठीक है. So let me explain. This wait key is the OpenCv library function that is used to bind keyboard with your window, or we can say that it is used to stay our window until user press any key from keyboard. This X0xff means it returns actually 8 bits value that are returned by this wait key, and this ORD is used to return the ASCII value of this D that has been that will be typed by user from keyboard. So if I run this, just let me show you, and yeah, we are getting our video right here. So if I click on this cross button, it will not work because I had mentioned here D button. So if I press D, then it will work. Now the next thing, we have to convert this frame, this video, into RGB, because by default OpenCv library read any image or video in BGR format. So RGB image will be equal to CV dot, we have to convert it, this convert color, first take your frame and then CV dot color underscore BGR to RGB. Okay, so we have converted this frame into RGB. Next, what we can do next, now the goal, as I mentioned earlier in this video, that the goal of this project is to detect to draw landmarks. First we have to detect the joint, the pose in any person body, then we have to draw landmarks. For that we use trend modules. So loading modules, और ये modules आपको मिल जाते हैं in this Mediapipe library that has been developed by Google especially for computer vision task. Okay, now mp pose नाम से मैं एक वेरिएबल बनाता हूँ and you have to use here mp.solutions. Now within this solution you have a pose. Okay, this pose is used to detect landmarks as we have seen earlier in this video. The next thing, I'll use this mp pose in which I have a pose class. Actually this pose class is used to detect landmarks. Okay, and you have to use here this thing. Now if I press Ctrl and right click on this pause, then it will redirect you to this portion. So this couple of parameters has been used by the Mediapipe developers when they had trained this module. As you can see, we have static mode, complexity, smooth landmarks. There are a lot of things that we'll be discussing a bit later, but for now let me not this one, let me remove this one as well. So next, what I can do with the help of, I'll store this in a variable because I am going to use it, pose. Okay, so I'll be using this pose to actually process. So pose dot process, and I'll pass this RGB image because I'm going to detect the landmarks, and I'll store this in a variable by the name of result. So मैंने actually क्या किया, मैंने इस pose से process किया RGB को और इसको store किया result में. अब जो भी landmarks detect हो चुके हैं वो इस result नाम variable में store हैं. Now what I can do, I want to draw these landmarks. For that you have to use here mp.solutions.draw drawing utils, और इसको मैं एक वेरिएबल में स्टोर करता हूँ draw or just draw. Okay, now this mp draw variable will help us to draw the landmarks, but before drawing, first let me check it, maybe in case we haven't detected any landmark. For that we have to check. So हो सकता है कि यहाँ पे कोई लैंडमार्क नहीं हो, तो उसके लिए हम पहले चेक लगाते हैं result dot pose underscore landmarks. ठीक है, उसके बाद मैंने जो mp draw वेरिएबल यूज किया है उसके अंदर जाके मैं यूज करता हूँ draw landmarks फंक्शन. दिस इज माय क्लास mp draw और इसके अंदर एक फंक्शन है draw landmarks जो एक्चुअली जॉइंट यानी बॉडी के जॉइंट के ऊपर लैंडमार्क्स को ड्रॉ करता है. ओके, दिस इज द एक्चुअल task of this function. Now this take couple of argument. The first it take frame जिसके अंदर आप डिटेक्ट करना चाहते हो. Second the landmark that you have detected and it is in result. So I'll copy this part and I'll paste it right here. So for now, if I just run it, as you can see, we are detecting landmarks and we are drawing landmarks on this person joint. Okay, so it's working. So I forgot, मुझे पहले एक और काम करना चाहिए. So I forgot, but first we had to here calculate frame per second. तो जब वीडियो चलती है तो उसके अंदर एक्चुअली फ्रेम्स चलते हैं. So what I can do, we have variable current time. So I'll give it this current time. Okay, and now I'll calculate frame per second. For that I'll use a formula divided by current minus previous. This will actually calculate your frame per second. Now this will calculate the first frame, but for second frame we have to update this previous time variable. So previous time variable will be updated with current time. Okay, so actually this lines of codes is used to calculate the frame per second. Okay, now we have to put this frame per second on our window, on our image. So उसके लिए मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, सबसे पहले मुझे CV के अंदर जाके टेक्स्ट का इस्तेमाल करना होगा, put text. Now this put text couple of argument. First one, the frame that you want to put the text upon or across it, and the second what you want to put, what you want to write the text actually. So in our case we have this. So what I can do, first I'll use Python what we call it format. इसके अंदर मैं fps लिख के this format का इस्तेमाल करता हूँ. I'll convert it into string and then I'll convert it into integer, and then I'll put this fps. Okay, now after that you have to specify the position. Okay, so for now let me x-axis and let me change the y-axis just. Okay, then I'll explain a bit later because you will not be able to understand it right now if you are a beginner. The second thing, I'll mention the font style. So cv dot font underscore and we have a lot of styling like font, hairshade, plain. So I'll be using plain. We have there are a lot of options like font, hairshade, complex, font, hairshade, simplex. You can use them. After that you can also specify the color if you are this integer or whatever you have written here, like let's say we are going to use blue one, 25500, and after that you can also specify the size of your text. Let's say 2. You can also specify thickness, let's say 3. Okay, so if I run it, and there is an error in function put text. Okay, let's check it out. Font scale cannot be treated as a double. Okay, there is a bug. Let me check. For now let me remove this. I think it's order matter here. So first we have to mention here the size. Okay, मुझे लगता है कि यहाँ पे order matter करता है. Yeah, as you can see here we are calculating frame per second of this video, and the size should be like 7. Okay, it's quite big. 2 would be perfect, and we can specify thickness like 3. Yeah, it's working. So this is the position that I mentioned. This is the position, your y coordinate, your x coordinate. If you increase it 100, then it will be like, you will see it will be right here because we grabbed it from top. So इसी तरह आप text put करते हो. Now let me change it to 30. Now the next thing that we will be doing, we will be using कनेक्शन इन द सेंस के जो लैंडमार्क्स हमने ड्रॉ किए हैं उनके बीच में कनेक्शन होना चाहिए. सो उसके लिए हमने जो MP पोज नाम से क्लास इंपोर्ट किया था उसके अंदर आपको मिल जाते हैं पोज कनेक्शन. दिस MP पोज इज दिस वन. ओके, दिस वन. इसके अंदर आपको पास है पोज कनेक्शन. सो इट विल गिव यू दिस as you can see. Okay, I can also draw a circle here, but before drawing it, let me show you this draw landmark. If I press Ctrl and right click, Then as you can see here, it takes couple of parameter like image, landmarks. We had specify image, landmark, connection, and here it takes one other argument, that is landmark drawing spec. In that you have a drawing spec, this tech color. Okay, so let me show you that how it works. I just want to do some styling in my landmarks, so I'll use here mpdraw dot drawing spec function or class, and within this I'll mention color. I just want the color of my circle, actually the landmarks, like 255, 255 and 0. This is a color like blue one, I think. And the other one, thickness, you can specify thickness like 3. You can also specify circle radius like 3. Just let me show you, then I'll explain. तो ये जो ड्राइंग स्पेक है ये आपको कलर, थिकनेस, ये चीजें स्पेसिफाई करता है, एज यू कैन सी. सो आई थिंक द कलर शुड बी green. Okay, as you can see, this is our landmarks with thickness 3 and radius 3. You can also specify here circle, but we will see it later. Okay, now the next thing, we had almost done this project, but the next thing we have to grab the x coordinate value and y coordinate value, because जब हम लैंडमार्क्स ड्रा करते हैं तो एक्चुअली यहाँ पे 3D शेप आपको दिया जाता है x and y कोऑर्डिनेट. सो इसके लिए मैं क्या करता हूँ, सबसे पहले तो मैं यहाँ पे एक लूप चलाऊंगा, उसकी आईडी एंड लैंडमार्क निकालूंगा एन्यूमरेट का इस्तेमाल करके. दिस लाइंस ऑफ कोड, just let me copy, because our landmarks are stored in this result. Let me paste it right here, and इसके अंदर मैं जाके landmark a single, I want a single landmark, because when I run this loop it will grab using enumerate the ID and landmark of this pose landmark from single landmark. So if I print this ID and landmark, you would see a 3D shape. Here you can see, just let me close the window so that I could explain it. As you can see, here we are getting the information. So just let me start from here. So this is the ID, okay, that we are printing right here. Let me show you. This is the ID for each landmark, and this is the information for a single landmark, okay, x coordinate, y and z, okay, as you can see. And this is the second ID. Now the question is, why we are grabbing this information? These are very important, because if you want in another project, if you just want the nose landmark or the eye landmark, मतलब कि अगर आप interested हो just a single joint landmark में, then you can use this information, okay. Now actually we are just seeing the ID and landmark, but we haven't grabbed the x, y, z. So I will grab x and y information here. For that we need first to take the height and width and channel of our original video or image, that is frame, okay. After that we have to use a formula. So image x and image y coordinate, सबसे पहले तो मैं इसको इंटीजर में कन्वर्ट करता हूं. क्यों? क्योंकि मैं लेट मी शो यू, ओके. सो मैं लैंडमार्क के अंदर जाके उसके एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट को निकाल के उसको मल्टीप्लाई करता हूं वो इमेज की विड्थ के साथ. ये मुझे एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट रिटर्न करके इसमें स्टोर करके देगा. मैं इसको इंटीजर में इसलिए कन्वर्ट करता हूं क्योंकि मैं जो नियर पिक्सल वैल्यू है वो यहाँ पर राउंड अप करना चाहता हूं. उसके बाद आई डू द सेम फॉर लैंडमार्क डॉट वाई कोऑर्डिनेट इनटू विड्थ ऑफ ओरिजिनल इमेज, ओके. सो दिस टू थिंग्स विल ग्रैब मी द एक्स इंफॉर्मेशन एंड वाई इंफॉर्मेशन. सो इफ आई प्रिंट ix and iy, then you will see okay, oops, my apologize, there should be shape, okay. shape आपको यहाँ पे यूज करना होगा. As you can see, we are grabbing right here. You can see we are taking each landmark x coordinate and y coordinate value successfully. Now here you can also draw a circle if you want to. अगर आप चाहते हो कि जो just let me show you cv dot circle, it will take frame and it will take position. So we have position ix and iy, and it take couple of argument like the radius. Let's say we have radius 3 and the font color, the color of the circle. Let's say we have red one or blue one, and it also take fill. So -1 means that we are filling the entire circle. And यहाँ पे order matter करता है, but first let me check you, then we'll see if there is an error. As you can see, we don't have any error, it's working. We can also specify here thickness like 3. Okay, it's not working properly. It's just because of, I think, this x. If I change to this one, let me first, okay, no, guys, this should be x. Circle हम draw तो कर रहे, but I don't know why it's not properly detecting the landmark. Anyways, it's working perfectly, but as you can see here, these things, it's detecting other things. So it's mean that we are not getting the correct information, these two things. But still it's perfect. So I'll comment it out. So let me run it once again, then we will convert this project into a module. अब इसको हम object oriented way में use करेंगे. Now the next thing we have created this project, almost we have done it. Now we have to convert it into a module. So we will be using object oriented programming way, because when you want to use this project in another project, let's say you are working on a big project and there you need such type of information like pause detection, then you will not be able to do this all coding again and again. So what you can do, you can convert this project into a module. So there you can just use that module. Okay, so what I'll be doing here, I'll be using class by the name of pause detection, and this class will check first. It will have this what we call it, this constructor, and for now let me pause. And the second, we will have a function that will find the pose. Okay, and it will take a frame, I mean the image, and there we specify, but for now let me just use a pause. Okay, now outside this class we have a Python main. Okay, we should have a Python main in which we'll be calling this class, and there should be a main. So what I can do, I can simply go, I'll copy, let me zoom out a bit so that you can see everything. मैं यहाँ से यहाँ तक का कोड कॉपी करता हूँ. I'm cutting this code, okay, and I'll paste into Python main, because compiler start from here. Okay, compiler start from here. उसके बाद I'll cut this module that I have imported from Mediapipe library and I'll paste it into this constructor. After that, I'll cut this line of code. Okay, this line of code, I'll cut this line of code and I'll paste it into my this function, because actually this function is going to detect the landmark. Now here a lot of errors. So compiler सबसे पहले यहाँ से start होगा. Now here within this Python main, we should have create an object of the class. So detector will be equal to our class name. What is the name? Pose detection. Okay, so first I'll call, with the help of this detector, I'll call right here my function. So detector dot find position, and मैं इसको पास करता हूँ frame. So I am going to pass my this frame to this find position function. So as you can see, it is getting this frame right here. Okay, उसके बाद मैं इसको सेम RGB में कन्वर्ट करता हूँ, देन डिटेक्ट करता हूँ लैंडमार्क्स को, देन चेक करता हूँ कि डिटेक्ट हुआ है या नहीं, देन ड्राइंग द लैंडमार्क. But as you can see, there is an error because now these variables are class instance, so we have to convert them into self keywords. So self, there should be self again, okay, and there should be self, yeah. And मैं यहाँ पे मल्टी कर्सर ऐड करता हूँ बाय प्रेसिंग कंट्रोल ऑल्ट, जहाँ पे मुझे चाहिए वहाँ पर मल्टी कर्सर में कलेक्ट करता हूँ. सो सेल्फ डॉट, ओके, and apart from that we don't need it. Okay, so let me run it. But as you can see, we are getting here a frame, we are converting into RGB, we are detecting the landmarks, we are drawing the landmarks with connections, and we are also getting the information, but we are displaying this image right, this video right here. So this function, this, when we call this function, it should return something and we will store it into a frame, and this function should return the frame again. Okay, so yeah, return apna frame. Let's run and see the result. So yeah, it's working quite good, and as you can see कि यहाँ पे हर लैंडमार्क के बीच में डिटेक्शन सॉरी कनेक्शन इस्टेब्लिशमेंट हो रहा है. अब ये देखना, अब इसके जो पैर है जब ऊपर आ रहे हो तब इनको भी यहाँ पे डिटेक्ट किया जा रहा है. ठीक है, सो इट इज डिटेक्टिंग क्वाइट गुड and it's working perfectly. So yeah, that was the project in which we learned that how we can use Mediapipe library and OpenCv and computer vision technique and Python programming to detect pose in a video. Yeah, so that was the project. So ये सारा का सारा कोड आप लोगों को मिल जाएगा. आप इस वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में जाएं, वहाँ पे आपको एक्सप्लेनेशन के साथ इस इंटायर कोड आपको मिल जाएगा. सो वीडियो को लाइक करो, अगर अभी तक चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो, एंड वीडियो को लाजमी लाइक करो.